Hi, I'm John Cowpe, the Managing Director of the Multihull Group, and with me is Peter Hrones, who's the Managing Director and founder of Yachts. Today we'd like to introduce you to Cobli, talk a little bit about it and explain how it works. So the Multihull Group, we're an award-winning importer. We import a number of brands of Multihull, including Lagoon catamarans, who are the #1 catamaran manufacturer in the world.
Yachts has fantastic day boats, Axopar, Pardo, and we also have Vanquish, so we have a range of day boats, plus we have some great cruisers from Greenline and Serena. And we're one of the first to actually come up early 2000, nearly 20 years ago, with syndication, I guess, or equity in boats, and they were in sailing yachts. And in that time we had probably 30 to 35 boats sold alone here on PITTWATER, and from there it allowed a lot of people to get into boating. It was almost like trying to dip their big toe in the water, and here we are today with a new concept which we think's suited to today's times. I'll let John tell you a little bit more about our concept and where we're going with it.
We've seen trends change, I suppose, in the marketplace. We've been importing yachts for many years, and we felt there was time as the importer and with the products that we are importing to bring an offering to the marketplace across all of our brands. Really, we're seeing that people are happy now and more ready to take equity ownership. So a lot of the owners are people who can afford boats, but they actually see a lot of value in that walk-on, walk-off proposal. And they're often quite, clever people who are time poor and who get the value in having a smaller share in a vessel. We're not doing a lot of shares in our vessels, so still an awful lot of time and ability to access the vessel, have it fully managed. So what we are seeing is really a market opening up at the very high end for boats like the Lagoon 78, 65, that can go on expeditions with our owners, all the way to very high-end day boats that yachts are producing, so that on Sydney Harbour you can be taking your friends, entertaining them, and just walking on, walking off, accessing a boat, and not having that guilt of a boat that's perhaps sitting there not being used or maintained to the level you would want it to be.
Yeah, I think also the market is moving quickly in the day boat section especially. There's more and more day boats, and I think that's because, as John said before, there's less time. People haven't got the time, and they're realising maybe they're not going to sleep on the boat all weekend, and they want to just go and use the boat for the day or take their friends out. And our boats allow them to take up to a dozen people out and enjoy that boat together. And whether it's being out in the water and our boats fishing or doing anything, but I think at the end of the day people will get a lot of use out of the way we're going to format this new company called Cobli.
One of the key things that we are doing is we're only having a relatively short term of ownership. So as the importers, we're bringing these boats in brand new, and we're moving them after 3 years. So the term is shorter. It means you're always in the latest boat, which, if you're going to have equity in a boat, it's nice to know that you've got the very latest model to enjoy out on the water. So part of the model that we're rolling out is using new vessels, having them roll over every 3 years, maintaining them to a very high level, in order that when they are sold, they're still very current models, and therefore the value of the vessels are still kept high. As an equity owner, a share owner in the vessel, what that means is if you choose to exit after 3 years, a lot of that equity is coming back to you. So it works out as a very cost-effective and smart way of moving ahead.
Well, obviously the boat, I think with 4 owners or 5 owners, rather than a lot of the others are doing, 10 owners, that the boat will be used differently, I guess, in some ways. It's not the same as 10 owners, and then we see this resale of the boat because the boat is probably looked after in a different way, more exclusively at a high end, and this is really important when you come to sell the boat, because it's very easy to say, look, this boat's been looked after by a professional team and it's not, not the typical 10 owners. So I think this is a big factor that Cobli is different to everyone else.
And I think access to the boat's important, in the key times, in the heat of the summer, when your boat's, perhaps it's a Lagoon 42 and it's up in the Whitsundays, you're getting a really much more time and more access to the vessel with less users, less owners of the vessel. Yeah,
we got that feedback really from the owners that have been in a syndication already. They found that they couldn't use the boat in December and January, with the kids on holidays, because it was always booked up. And with this system, they're going to get at least a week in each month to use the boat, and obviously standby time when people are on holidays. And I think it's going to be unique, isn't it? Everything about it that we're doing will be very different to anything else out there today. And obviously we knew that we were unique 20 years ago, but today we've got unique boats, very trending boats. Obviously the catamarans are the biggest catamaran company in the world, and then Axopar and Pardo are the fastest growing day boats. Yeah. And we're seeing how people are using these boats, and we're allowing people to use these boats 7 days a week rather than just sitting on a mooring or not being used. And they're going to restaurants on from Sydney Harbour up to Pete's Bite. There's so much to come with this new way of sharing a boat, but to another level. This is top end, and it's going to be exclusive. Obviously the boats are in demand anyway, and we'll just have a select amount each year. We're really, really excited to bring Cobli to the market.